People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. My guest today is an athlete. She's actually a master sprinter. Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Dala. I hope I pronounced that. Bortolussi.
Very good. Well done.
Yay. I don't always get them right. Okay, so what does somebody need to do to become a master sprinter?
It's really simple, actually. You just have to really want to do it, and you just you find a club that you want to join. You don't even have to find a club. You can just join through your provincial association, and you're good to go. Pay your fees and your annual fees, and that's it.
So
Very simple.
You've been sprinting for quite a while now, right?
I've been sprinting. I did my first competition in 2016, and I've trained for a year before that to get ready. So yeah, it's been a few years now. A lot of people have been doing it longer than I have, but I've really enjoyed the few years that I've been in it already.
Have you done anything else, or is it just sprinting?
Well, I've just done sprinting up to now. I tried to do at one point jumps, long jump, high jump, hurdles, but I kind of hurt my knee, and my doctor is like, okay, that's not a good idea for you. So I gave up on that, but I'm considering doing other events. I'm kind of undecided right now what I want to do, because I have a minor injury right now. So when I get injured, I start thinking, well, maybe sprinting is not such a good idea. Maybe it's time to explore something else. So I'm contemplating right now what else I might do. Probably some throws, I think, would be interesting.
Oh, very good. Yeah. So let's get back to your sprinting. Let's see, you started competing at the age of 47?
Yeah, my first competition, 47.
Now, is that a late start? Because it sounds like a little bit late.
Well, Masters starts at age 35.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of in the middle. A lot of women start around their mid 40s or so, probably because, if you have kids, they're older, more independent, you have more time to train and that kind of thing. But we have some younger ones too. So is it late? I think looking back, I wish I'd started a little bit earlier, but it's okay. You can start at any age. As they say with Masters, you're never too young. You're never too old. You can only be too young. So as long as you're at least 35, you're good to go.
Very good. It's kind of different in a way, because it's usually most sports that they're saying start young, 5 years old, 7 years old, whatever, right?
You don't have to. And there are some athletes who've never done athletics before in their lives, who start at like 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. It's mind blowing. It's so cool. I love it.
Very good. Yeah. They're just showing off.
But they've never done it before. This is like their first time doing track and field. Yeah. So it's anyone can do it. Even if you've never done it before, you don't have to have done it in high school or in university. Not at all. You can just start like now.
That is really cool. Now, you competed at the Dartmouth Relays 3 times?
Yes, I did. It's in New Hampshire. Yeah.
Oh, that was in New Hampshire. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's see it. Several Canadian Masters athletes, indoor and outdoor championships. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what else have you done here? I'm just reading your bio you sent, and thanks for doing that, by the way. It makes asking questions a little bit easier, Caribbean Masters. It's like the Western Hemisphere Championships. That was done simultaneously with a Canadian Championships, because the hosting country that was supposed to do the NCC meet backed out last minute. So Toronto offered to host it last minute. So we did it a 2-for-1. So that was my first real big international meet. And I think to this day, it's my only international meet that I've done. That was a lot of fun. It was different. The level of competition is so much tougher. But you meet people from everywhere, which was a lot of fun. We were supposed to have a world championship in Toronto in 2020, but COVID, we couldn't do that. So we have Finland coming up, Worlds next summer. And in Edmonton, 2023 is World Championships indoors. So Finland, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence, but Edmonton Indoor Worlds, definitely want to do that one. Right. Now you live in Quebec, right?
I do, just on the South Shore of Montreal.
Okay. And I think it was my cousin who recommended.
Yes, my buddy Sue.
Yeah. And I was hoping to have her on the show, but she had said after she has an injury, right? So,
yeah, she does. It's been a long one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I haven't met her in person actually. So it's well, I have so many relatives. It's all kind of interesting. Now you were also in the Grand Prix, Montreal Grand Prix in 2018.
Those were some pretty cool events. I have to say that those Grand Prix races for me were probably some of the most memorable races that I've done. It's you have to kind of qualify for those. I kind of barely made that in, but anyway, I'm not one of the superstars in Canadian Masters, like by any means at all. But I was, you know, asked to go to those events, and you're just with other extraordinary women that are competing. And it was a sprint event. One was outdoors, one was indoors. So the outdoor one is 100 meter, indoor was 60. And just to be with these other women who are phenomenal, not just phenomenal sprinters, because they're world-class athletes. They have world records. They've won gold at Worlds. It's amazing. But to run alongside them, and they're just such amazing people who are inspiring in their sport, but also in their lives outside of the sport. They just want to see people excel and do well and be happy. And that's what Masters Athletics is all about. So being surrounded and competing against these women, to me, it's just such an incredible feeling.
It sounds really good, as opposed to something that where people are cutthroat.
It's not like that at all. I mean, we're competitive. We all, when we get on that start line, we all want to win. Like we all work hard, we train hard, we get there, we show up, we want to win. So on the start line, it's competitive, but we're still joking around, having fun, talking about how nervous we all are. But as soon as you cross that finish line, it's like you're all congratulating each other. And how do you think you did? Are you happy with your time? Are you feeling okay? Did you pull anything? You know, it's a real sense of camaraderie and support and encouragement. So at the finish line, you're just friends, and then you go out for dinner or whatever, and you have fun.
Very nice. Isn't that great, eh? That's what it's sportsmanship, right?
Total sportsmanship, because we all know we're all dealing with our own health issues, family issues, or whatever. So, I mean, we're not there. Yes, we're there to compete, but we're there mostly to have fun. And it's a big social thing. When I first started, people said, oh, I'd come to these events for the social. I'm thinking to myself, what's the matter with you? No, this is competitive. But then once you've gone to a few, you see how it's social. Because you're with people who think the same way you do, who train similarly to how you train. And I mean, we're kind of nutty. I won't deny that, to do this at our age. But it really is a lot of fun. And it's just such a supportive community. I'm so happy that I found Masters Athletics. I truly am.
That sounds awesome. It really does. Okay, so now you're elected member of the CMA Board of Directors. So CMA is Canadian Masters Athletes, right?
Canadian Masters Athletics, yeah.
Athletics. So you're on the Board of Directors. So what does the board do?
Oh, basically what we try to do, well, we organize. We're in charge of the Canadian Championship events, the indoor and the outdoor, every year. We also have a whole bunch of other events that we kind of, endorse isn't the right word, that we sanction, so athletes can compete. And we have like records that we keep track of, Canadian records, which is really cool. We have, our members are lucky. We're one of the only countries in the world that give all of our athletes access to Masters Rankings, which is a website where athletes can go in and see like your performance, where you rank in the world, which is really cool. Yeah. I try not to go there because I get a little discouraged, but it's okay. It's still fun. And then now we're trying a lot more to provide services for our members. We've been having seminars that we've been organizing for our members on things like injury prevention and training during COVID, on throws. So we've got a whole bunch of things that we're trying to line up for the fall. So we really want to try to attract new members to the sport because it's so much fun, and also to support the members that we have.
Very good. Now, you said that your goal is to channel your experience and enthusiasm to promote your sport, right? which
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
yeah, and particularly to women throughout Canada.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed when I joined the board, when they give us the statistics on how many members we have and the breakdown with women versus men, we really need a lot more women in Canadian Masters. I think some of the latest numbers that I saw, women were like 37% of the total of the athletes. And to me, that's just not good enough. Come on, 50-50, we can do that. So I want to understand why more women aren't taking it up and what can we do to try to encourage more women to join. And I think one of the big things is we just need women to see us there doing it. So when we're competing at a track meet where it's all like, high school kids or university kids, and we kind of get like looks like, oh, what are you doing here, lady? I don't care. To me, it's an opportunity for other people to see us. Mm-hmm. And I think unless we have more visibility, people won't know we're there and they won't even think to join us. So I definitely want to see more women on the track or out in the field or whatever, cross country, racing, race walking, whatever it is, because anyone can do it. So I would love to have more women try and stick with it because it's so much fun.
Right. Hopefully something like this will help get the message out.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, it's great to have an opportunity like this to talk about CMA and to talk about sprinting and masters athletics, because this is definitely a great way to, because locally, I know you're out in BC, and BC has some really good track clubs like the Greyhounds. Wow, that's an incredible group of people out there. Mm-hmm. So anything we can do to promote our visibility and just talk about how much fun it is to do what we do. Hopefully it will encourage people to, if not try athletics, my other goal is to just get people to just do something, be active somehow. If you don't, not everyone is cut out to do competitive sports, and that's okay. But it's fun when people, like, they say to me, you're such an inspiration. And I take that, like, that really, it makes me feel really good, because if you don't want to join CMA, that's fine. But if I can just inspire someone to go for a walk more regularly, or pick up another sport that they used to do when they were young, or whatever, just getting people to want to do something is just it's important to me. And I'm happy when people say, yeah, well, I tried that because I see what you do. If I can do this, then you can do something too. Yeah, that's my attitude.
As you said, you're never too old to start something.
Never too old, because you don't have to be like a world record holder to do this sport. Because I am not one of those elites. We have some, as I said, really phenomenal, especially women athletes, women sprinters in Canada. And I admire them and they're fabulous. But I mean, I'm eating their dust on the track and they're older than me. But I don't care, because it's still just fun to do it.
Yeah, and that's about it. Why would you do it if you're not having fun, right?
And I think about that sometimes too. I think, well, how long am I going to do this? And people ask me, how long are you going to sprint for? Well, I'm going to sprint until I'm not having fun anymore. Because when I'm not having fun in training and I'm not having fun competing, well, then why am I doing it?
Yeah, I can relate to the age thing. I'm a late bloomer to everything that I've done in life.
Well, maybe you can join CMA and I'll see you at the track.
Well, unfortunately, I have some health issues that prevent me from doing that. I have to walk with a cane. So.
Oh, okay.
Sprinting with a cane is not quite what I envision.
I get it.
I just want to get, again, I want to get back to some of the jobs you've had over the years. You worked as a research assistant.
Yeah.
Now that was in the Department of Epidemiology.
Yeah, epidemiology and biostatistics at McGill. I was a research assistant for a research project on breast cancer and communication. It was cool because it was at the time the only research project that was funded that included in the research project. Some of our co-principal investigators were women who had breast cancer. So we were pioneering at the time in having women who had breast cancer on our project involved directly, hands-on in doing the research. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now you're a volunteer tutor, or you were?
Well, I was up until COVID hit. I've done that for many years. I love that. I'm hoping to be able to get back into the school this fall. I haven't heard back yet. Last year, there were no visitors at all allowed in the school, which I understand.
Yeah.
But if I can get back in, I would love to go back to doing that volunteering.
And you focus on children with learning disabilities, correct?
Yeah, I always tell it's a friend of mine who works in the school. She works with a lot of with kids who have learning disabilities or behavioral issues or whatever. And I tell her, just give me whoever you want to work with. It's usually one-on-one. Sometimes it's small groups. It depends on what they need. But yeah, it's often, there are a lot of kids that have learning disabilities. And I mean, I'm not going to have a lasting impact, 20 years down the road for them. But if I can make their today a little bit happier or make them feel more confident, that's all I want.
Right. No, and also here's that you've organized 4 blood drives with the Hema Quebec and
with him. Besides soccer, when my kids were playing soccer, I remember I heard once in the news that Hema Quebec was they had a shortage of blood, and it was kind of critical because they had some problem with their machinery. I don't know what it was, how they stored the blood. I'm like, oh my God, that's not good. So I contacted them and I said, how can I help? I'd like to organize something to try to get more blood donations. And that happened. And I worked with one of my daughter's soccer teams to get the kids involved in seeing this process and how important it is. Right. And so I did that for 4 years. That was, it's a lot of work, but I was really happy that I did that.
Very good. Oh, and yeah, you mentioned your daughter, you have 2 daughters, correct?
I do. Well, they're both adults now, but yeah, 2 daughters.
Grown-up daughters, yes. And so are they still into any kind of athletics?
My kids, neither one of my kids ever did athletics per se. They didn't do track and field. I was hoping maybe my one daughter would do hurdles at one point. She started training with me a bit for hurdles with my coach, but she dropped that pretty quickly. She says there's no point in doing sports unless it has a ball. So for her, she's doing beach volleyball out in Vancouver now. She's out there. And my other daughter's a climber. She was a figure skater, soccer player, but now she does indoor.
Yeah, they're both being physical. So that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm really happy that my kids have always stayed active. It's very important. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time, but I just want to ask now, if somebody wanted to contact or find out more about the Canadian Master Athletics, where could they get that information?
We have a website, and on the website, people can certainly sign up for our newsletter. That we also have a Facebook page they can join. Anyone who has questions about training or coaching or anything like that, strongly encourage them to go on our Facebook page and just put your question out there. And honestly, if someone is really interested, I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook because my name is kind of unique. Yes, so they can certainly, send me a message on Messenger, and I would be happy to try to help if anyone needs anything.
Okay. After this, after I end this, I'm going to get you to give me the website. Make sure I'll, so that I have the wording correct, and I will include it in the video so people can.
CanadianMasters.ca, but sure, I'll confirm it with you after.
CanadianMasters.ca.
Mm-hmm. And
that's the same as on Facebook as well?
If you just look up Canadian Masters, Canadian Masters Athletics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Facebook it's Canadian Masters Athletics, and on our website it's CanadianMasters.ca. Okay, great. Okay, well, just hold on while I say goodbye to the audience. Okay, everybody, I hope you really learned something, because I did. I never heard of Masters Sprinters before, or Canadian Masters Athletics. So that was really good to get something new, to learn something new. And thank you, Darla, for sharing this information. Dala. I know, it's a weird name.
Dala. Oh, hey, listen, I'm notorious for getting people's names wrong. It's really bad. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? But anyway, so thanks everybody. And thank you for watching the show, and stay safe, and peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.